This is Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage, your place for all things Wisconsin sports. Now, your host, Trage.
How we doing, everybody, and welcome into Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage, and we're coming in here on this Wednesday. I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday so far. I hope you guys have enjoyed your week off that weekend that was, well, depends. Are you a Packer fan? Are you a Badger fan? Are you both? Because if you're both, you're kind of in the middle right now. If you're just a Packer fan and you don't really care for the Badgers, you're having a really rough week so far here. So we have a lot to dive into today here on the show. We're going to talk Badger hoops because what a performance against Michigan over the weekend there. A huge upset. 3 in a row now. They got the big buzzer beater win against Minnesota last night there. That's a decent Minnesota team. I mean, they're not a pushover. That is a good team. So beating Minnesota, that was a good win right there. So definitely some good things to talk about their men's Badgers hoops right now. There's some, wow, where this team was to where they are now, definite change from what we've seen. So we're going to get into that. Christian's going to stop by. We're going to talk about that. We definitely have to talk about the Packers today. I know you've heard it across every radio station in Wisconsin at this point here, and from every radio voice that you've heard that they're talking about Matt LaFleur. They're talking about the job he's done. They're talking about, would you bring him back? Would you not? We're going to talk about that. We're going to get our opinions then on Matt LaFleur's situation. Would you bring him back? Would you not bring him back? What needs to change? Everything in between. We're going to get into all that today here on the show. I've been seeing a lot across social media. A lot of people talking about, so Ben Johnson after the game, we saw the handshake, right? We saw the handshake weeks ago with him and Matt LaFleur, and then we saw the handshake that was on Saturday. And a lot of people are up in arms about it. Well, he needs to be better. He needs to have more class, this and that. Though I agree that there is a classy way to go about it, I don't hate it. I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I like it. I like what Ben Johnson's doing right now. Because what Ben Johnson's doing right now is he's making this rivalry better. He's making the rivalry ignite. That's what he's doing. You know, you always look for in sports. There's always, you want to have a rivalry because when there's no rivalries, it's nothing, right? The NBA, I don't think there's a rivalry left in the NBA. You can say season by season, maybe, right? But they try to push like the Lakers and the Celtics, or they try to push this on us. And there isn't that rivalry anymore. There is a definite rivalry between the Bears and Packers now. There is a dislike between the head coaches. There's a dislike between the players. And I am here for it. I want all of it because it adds more juice. When there's juice, it adds that much more excitement when they meet. Whether it's in week 1, week 10, week 17, week 18, in the playoffs, whatever it is, there's that juice there, that extra motivation. When you go into it as a fan base, you just have that much more excitement going into it. So I love that Ben Johnson is kind of, he's throwing gasoline on the fire. And he's like, oh, yeah. Now, the question is, how do the Packers respond to that? Oh, yeah, we all talk, we hear everybody talk about it, and they don't like it. The fans don't like it, and the players don't like it. Great. Now we got to see it. And I know end of the season, so you're not going to see it for a while, right? You're not going to see it until next year. But you have to add that as extra juice. When you hear it is going into becoming the Bears head coach, praise Dan Campbell, praise Kevin O'Connell. I enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. I don't care anymore if it's, some people say it's a forced thing from Ben Johnson that he just kind of forces it and it seems like phony, right? I don't care at this point. He's embracing the rivalry, and that's what the Green Bay Packers have to do. Top to bottom, coaches to players. I thought the aggressiveness from the Packers, I thought they were very stale in the second half. I thought that Matt LaFleur made no adjustments. And, I mean, we're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about Matt LaFleur and all that. But what the Bears did to the Packers is what we've seen in the past. It was just very amplified. When you give up 25 points in the fourth quarter, 25 points in the fourth quarter in a game where you basically had it won. You could have wiped your hands clean of it. You gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter. That's an effort problem. That's a coaching problem. There's a lot of problems right now with Green Bay Packers. And we're going to get into it all here today on the show. We have a ton to get into. We're going to talk Packers. We're going to talk Badger Hoops. We have to talk Bucks. Kyle's going to stop by. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk about that wild card weekend. We have a whole boatload of things to get into here today on the show. So when we come back, Ummer's going to stop by. We're going to talk about Matt LaFleur and that situation there with the Green Bay Packers. If you want to be involved in the show, make sure you're doing it today. 715-990-4914. That is 715-990-4914. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow across all the social media platforms, Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trade. But we will be right back here on the show. Hour number 1 of 2 is just getting going. We'll be right back. That song was perfect for this next segment because we're going to be talking about the Packers. We're going to talk about Matt LaFleur's situation. Did the Packers move on? What do? They take the gamble for moving on like a coach from a coach like Matt LaFleur? That's the question we're going to talk about today here in this next segment. But this next segment is brought to you by Chili Implement. Tackle your toughest jobs on the farm or in your yard with equipment from Chili Implement. Visit Chili Implement and find what you need today. Check them out there at Chili Implement. So, Ummer is here tonight. Ummer, I don't want to talk about what happened on Saturday. I want to talk about you. How are you doing on this Wednesday?
I am slowly recovering still from Saturday night, man. How about you?
That was rough. That was a rough game to watch. That was a rough game to at first it was. And at first I was like, wow, here we go. Like, it's going to be one of them games. Matt LaFleur is going to put – we were texting. I can't remember who I was texting that night.
You definitely texted me, yeah.
And I was like, there's no way he doesn't keep the gas pedal down. He doesn't like Ben Johnson. He doesn't like the Bears. They have that rivalry that's there now. We see it. I mean, we hear it from Ben Johnson. We hear it from Matt LaFleur. You know it's there. Like, I don't even care. Like, I don't want to talk about Ben Johnson and all that nonsense. I talked about it to start the show. I mean, I like that he's bringing the rivalry. I like that. Now it's a question of, does this team answer? Do the Packers answer? Because whether it's a forced thing or whatever from Ben Johnson, I don't even care at this point. Yeah. He's throwing it out there. He's throwing the words out there. Now it's about, can you go out there and beat him? Can you go out there and beat Ben Johnson at the end of the day? I don't care what he's saying anymore. It's, can Matt LaFleur and this team beat the Bears? Can they beat Ben Johnson at this point here? So, I mean, outside of that, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But yeah, that drives me nuts. Everybody's complaining about his comments and were his comments bad. If you look at it in one light, sure. But at the end of the day, I don't care. It's a rivalry now. I like that. I like rivalries. I like that he's enticing this thing. I like that he doesn't like Matt LaFleur because Matt LaFleur shouldn't like him, and Matt LaFleur shouldn't try to take it easy on him in the second half. So let's talk about Matt LaFleur here, Hunter.
Yeah.
Because it's the big topic over everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Matt LaFleur is going into his last season of his contract. Ed Policy said there's going to be no lame duck coaches. So we're in this kind of position now where they're going to be talking. Now, as you guys know, we're pre-recorded, so we have no idea. Maybe he gets a contract signed tomorrow. I have no idea. They said by Wednesday, maybe hesitantly, they could have something worked out. Whatever, whoever you want to believe at this point. You have Ian Rappaport and those guys saying that it's good, like they're working on the extension, and then you look elsewhere and it's like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. Ummer, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's just talk about Matt LaFleur in total.
Yeah.
At this point. I've kind of been in the camp of, I don't know how I feel about Matt LaFleur, because I feel like Matt LaFleur's teams are consistently showing us the same thing every single year. Every single year. It's the same nonsense. It's the same stuff. And it's the same as we see in his press conferences. Oh, I have to go look at the film. Matt, you don't need to look at the film. You know what you saw. You watched it. You saw the lack of effort from Rashawn Gary. You saw this. You saw that. You can answer all those questions that they're asking you. Your cop-out answer all the time is, I have to go look at the film. Own up to it for once. Just own up to it in a press conference. Like those little things, that drives me nuts. That's just one of the things that drives me nuts about Matt LaFleur. But I'm right now at the point with Matt LaFleur where if he's not going to make the changes that need to happen, because you can't just run this back. You can't. Like there is no run it back with this at this point. Because honestly, yes, if Micah Parsons was there, it would have been better. Sure. If Tucker Kraft was there, it would have been better. Sure. I agree. Zach Tom, Elton Jenkins, sure. It would have been better. If you'd had all those big name players, the big contracts playing, yeah, it would have been better. It wouldn't have fixed your special teams. It wouldn't have fixed the lack of emphasis that you put on your special teams. It wouldn't have fixed the lack of play calling that you have in the second half, the conservative effort that you give, the lack of adjustments that you make. It wouldn't have fixed those problems. Sure, it would have made your defense a lot better. Yeah. But would Zach Tom? Yeah, okay. Rasheed Walker wouldn't have had to play. But when you watch a game like that and you're watching Rasheed Walker be beat off the edge, Kennard's sitting on your bench. He's there. I understand you want to use him in those jumbo packages, right? The big boy package. You didn't run the big boy package. You barely ran it. He was out there for what? That catch that almost ended up being a disaster in its own right. But, I mean, you used him there. Outside of that, why didn't you just – okay, at that point, Rasheed Walker was being beat off the edge like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. He didn't look like he even cared. Like he was very uninterested in the game.
Yeah.
Get him out of there. Throw somebody else in there at that point. So Kennard would have gave an A-plus effort. Maybe he wouldn't have been as good. Sure. But he had given an effort. There was no effort there from Rasheed Walker. You see from some of these guys like Rashawn Gary. At times in this game, it was like, Rashawn, I need you to make a play. I'm jogging.
He made one. He did make a couple plays. I'll give him that, right? Remember
it's like one play he makes it, the next play is jogging. And it's so inconsistent with him that it just gets to the point at the end of the day where you're the head coach. Be the head coach. Oh, we got to stop blaming coordinators. We have to, it's Halfley's defense. Yeah, but Matt oversees the team. That's the thing. He oversees it all. So if he can't oversee the team while calling plays, he needs to stop calling plays. Because if he wants to be the head coach of this football team, he needs to be the head coach of this football team. They're so worried about, how's the offense? How's the offense? He can't worry about that because he's trying to worry about that, but he's trying to worry about that, but he's trying to worry about this, but he's trying to worry about that. So it's all getting pushed off on other guys. And that's like, just throw your best guys out there. Special teams. The emphasis on special teams. He said, it's not killing us yet. It's not the thing that's hurting us. On the contrary, Matt, it's the thing that's hurting you every single year. It doesn't matter if it's kick returns. We had Josh Jacobs back there returning kicks.
Yep.
The guy with a busted up knee was back there returning kicks for you because you don't put an emphasis on it. You said at the end, we have to get something going. Okay, let's throw Josh Jacobs back there.
He did say Josh asked to be put back there too. He said that.
Of course he did because he saw that they stink. He saw that they stink, and he's like, I have to do something to set us up a good field position.
Yeah, it's like Thursday. He's like, put me back there. I used to do it. I used to do it at Alabama. And, once he catches the ball, it is a running play. He did get a 45-yard gain, but unfortunately,
and then fumbled it and almost made me cry.
And almost, but he got it back, thank God. But
it's just the emphasis that he's putting in the wrong. He can't be the head. I'm at the point where if Matt's gonna return as head coach, I understand it. He's a very good coach. Matt LaFleur is a good coach.
Yeah.
But Matt LaFleur right now cannot be a play caller and a coach because he can't be the head coach of his football team. He's not the head coach right now. He's calling plays, and then everybody else seems to just have their things. Like they're running their personnel on different sides, which is the way it should be. But Matt's not overseeing it all. He's not. You can't tell me that he's looking at it and saying, wow, Rashawn Gary's playing way better than Engabare or Van Ness. He's giving way more effort than those guys. We should definitely have them out there. We should definitely have those guys out there in that one. No, I would not believe that. And if it is, then Matt LaFleur needs to go too. Like I'm just watching these personnel decisions that they're making. Matt LaFleur needs to step in and be the boss. Be the guy. Be the guy in the locker room. Be the voice. Be the leader that he's supposed to be on this team. And he's not that right now. And in order for that to happen, he needs to make those changes. He needs to be the change. And if he can't, if he won't become that change, if he won't fire some of his buddies, because Rich Bisaccia, I'm sorry, he might be a nice guy, but he needs to go. And if Matt won't do it, then Goody and Ed Policy have to walk in and say, Matt, we're going to bring you back as head coach, but we're going to make some coaching changes. We're going to do it. We're going to walk in and say, Bisaccia, thank you, bye. Steno, I love you. You want to be the offensive line coach? Okay. If you don't, okay, bye. Because you're not a good offensive coordinator. Matt, we're going to bring you an OC. Go call Mike McDaniel. That should be your first phone call. You should call him up. Say, hey, you want to become an offensive coordinator here up in Green Bay? Work with Matt. And then let Mike McDaniel run the offense. And then if Matt wants to put his input in, great. He can put his input in. He can throw it in there. But just wash your hands of it. Be the head coach of the football team. Ummer, I want to hear your take because I'm just yelling at.
I was like, you're going, man. I was like, shut his log off. I was like,
Ummer, what are your thoughts on Matt LaFleur right now? The whole. I mean, coming off this game, but it's deeper than this game. It's not just this game. I know a lot of people are going to point back to this game and say this is the reason why he needs to go or needs to stay or whatever. It's deeper than this game.
It goes back. It goes back to continuously them making I always call coaching malpractice. Like you bring in Trayvon Diggs. You knew Valentine and Nixon weren't getting it done. He had one snap in the first quarter, and that was it. And then those guys were getting cooked all in the second quarter. I agree with you. the second Walker in the second half was looking as bad as he was, I would have put Morgan on the left tackle. I put Kennard on the right. I would have just made changes. Like, the thing that gets me is, like, they're so cheap when it comes to their coaching hires. Like, they went and redid their whole defensive staff, which I think was smart. But then when it comes to their offense, like, think about what they did. I mean, I heard Roley talking about this today, where when they had a chance to get Darren Rizzi, they didn't want to pay him. I know there was some conversation about Rizzi asked for a lot of money, hoping that he wouldn't get the job. But the fact that the Packers are cheap, and then what they do, they went and spent all the money on Rich Bisaccia, which hasn't worked out at all. Same thing with, like, Luke Getzky gets fired from 2 jobs. We bring him in as a consultant. Nate Hackett can't get a job anywhere. Bring him in as a consultant. We keep bringing in these guys who get fired and try to see if they can help us out in different parts of the field, when it's like, I've been saying for the last 3 years, we need new voices. Bringing in the same people and having an echo chamber and basically doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is the purest definition of insanity. And I feel like LaFleur has never really made any change. He keeps promoting from within. Minus on the defense was the first time he actually went out of house. But even with that being said, like, when we lost Campanelli, we went ahead and promoted Duggan. And I feel like we had Nyman out there on a coverage play playing defense for the first time ever. And I'm just like, again, like, we keep making these, like, we keep, like, redoing the same thing over. Like, you keep running inside zone on first down, then you're second and long. Like, it's getting to a point now where LaFleur, I know he's a great play caller, but in that second half, people were saying he was being too aggressive at certain points. I can see that because he wasn't taking the gimmies. Like, he was trying to push the ball downfield. And I'm like, just take what the defense is giving you. Get Jordan to just dump it off and just check it down, because your offensive line was getting beat. And they weren't doing anything crazy. They literally they're blitzing wide. They kept blitzing wide the whole time, and we had no answer for it. I mean, when Zach Tom was out this game, I was thinking, like, all right, I had a really bad feeling, because Zach Tom, I feel like, really changes up so many things on that offense. But LaFleur as a coach, I'm with you. If they keep him, I'm happy. If they let him go, then I'm willing to hope that we can get some new voices in there, and maybe the Packers, now that Ed Policy's in charge, maybe he'll spend some more money and gain an actual bona fide staff. Because if you look at what the Bears did, they went and spent all this money on Ben Johnson. They went and spent all this money on his assistant coaches, and look what they got. They're now in the divisional, right? And the Packers have continually done the same thing. And what has been the result of that? 3 7-seed appearances, 1 playoff win in the last 3 years, and then on top of that, too, we bring in a new training staff. Our injuries are getting worse, not better. And then on top of that, too, the way we're going about our guys, like, we find out now that Zach Tom had partially torn patella, and we're going to try to put him out there. Then you talk about the Jair Alexander knee injury, where, like, they could have had him do surgery, and he could have probably been back in the second half of the season. Instead, they tried rehabbing him. Like, there's so many bad decisions that are made in-house, and I just think, like, a clean slate might not be a bad idea, but I just don't want us – because we have a window right now. You know, Jordan's playing amazing. Michael Parsons will be back next year. Tucker Kraft, Devontae Wyatt. We'll have our pieces back, but we need new voices on the offense. I'm done with Butkus, dude. I understand that he's coached some good offensive lines. This year was terrible. Yeah, and I'm done. I just need changes. I think what you said was LaFleur being a head coach, a true head coach, doesn't call plays. Mike McDaniel comes in, he becomes the OC. They bring in Bill Callahan or somebody else to be the offensive line coach, and they completely just redo everything. Because right now, I don't think you can sell the fans on bringing back everybody the way it is and expecting things to be different, because they haven't been. They haven't been.
No,
in fact,
it's becoming stale. It's
becoming stale, dude.
It's the same
100%.
stuff every year. And like we're saying, we don't think that Matt is a terrible – he's a good play designer, right? But I think he gets ahead of himself play calling-wise. He becomes predictable, right? 100%. And that's the inside zone 100%. Is predictable. He, the second down run. All the time. It just, those things, he becomes predictable in what he's going to do. And what you saw from Ben Johnson in that game, and he does a really good job of, he switches that playbook every single week, and he's scheming up different things mid-game. He's adjusting. Dennis Allen adjusted mid-game, and we saw it. We saw those adjustments that the Bears made. The Packers, on the flip side, no adjustments. Didn't make those adjustments. And when you punt 4 times in a row, of course they're going to have a big return. It's going to happen eventually. Something's going to break. It's just in that game you saw such – I think it transpires from the head coaching spot where you see a hesitant play. Jordan Love. I thought he hesitated a lot. There was a 3rd and 2 play where he had –
he could have ran it.
He could have ran it, got the first down,
my God,
and he kept it out of bounds. And I just thought to myself, this just shows – I don't know if it's a scared thing, but it's a hesitant play. He was looking to, I don't know if it was instilled in his
You know what it
mind,
was, though?
you
You know
can't
what?
make mistakes.
He ran that on the first or second drive. He ran, and then Austin Booker came in and cleaned him, hit him right in the head again.
Yeah,
Right with the helmet and everything. And I think he was like, look, I want to run for it, but these guys are headhunting. And if I get taken out of the game now, we're really screwed. So he said, just throw it away and play for another down. That's the only thing I could think of. Because I'm with you on that 3rd and 2, he could have ran for it and just slid and got the first down. But I know he was thinking, like, these guys are going to try to take a shot at me, and I don't want to take that shot. I don't want to lose. I don't want to miss the remainder of this game. And then all of a sudden that conversation starts coming up again. But I'm with you on that. There was. I mean, I'll put it this way: when he was throwing the ball, he wasn't hesitant. I mean, he was slinging it like he was doing. I mean, again, on that last drive, Jaden Reed doesn't help him out.
No, I thought, though, the Christian Watson throw, I know Watson said it after game. He's like, I thought he's going to hit me in the first window. I thought he should have hit him in the first window.
He should have. Really did
off the break. I was like, man, hit him there. Like, I don't know. It's
like,
sometimes
he had him there. If you don't hit him there, like, where he threw the ball, I'm like, okay, that was crazy. But, dude, it was if Watson just put both his hands up, he has a better chance of catching that ball, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, it could have been executed better by we're giving a lot of hate to Matt LaFleur in this game. We are. And I thought Matt deserves partial some. I don't know how much you would give to the blame. I want to hear from you guys. 715-990-4914. That's 715-990-4914. I want to hear from you guys your thoughts on Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur deserves blame in this game. I agree.
Yeah, but not all of it.
But not all of it, because I thought there was a lot of execution by players in this game that just wasn't there either. We're talking about the offensive line.
Bro,
McManus was a big one, right? Like 7 points.
You miss an extra point. Like that is the one. If he hits that extra point, we're not going for a touchdown. We're going for a field goal at that point.
No, I agree. I mean, McManus, but then you look Rasheed Walker. You can look across this roster, and you can. I mean, the last throw that Caleb Williams had was 4th and 8, and McDuffie ran him out. I don't know if Cooper's out there. I know you're talking the.
If Cooper's out there,
he catches him over McDuffie. But McDuffie did a great job chasing him down, getting to him. And McDuffie did great in his spot. The throw that he made, though, I mean, you look at the coverage, you look at Valentine.
Everyone's there.
Where are they? Right, they're underneath. They're all attacking the ball. They're not staying disciplined. They're not staying disciplined and staying with their guy back. They're all looking to, like you just said, with the Bears headhunting Jordan Love. They're all looking to headhunt. They're all. I don't know why Carrington Valentine is, because Carrington Valentine, he's so disinterested in hitting guys. It's not even funny at this point. No, if a running back comes to the outside, there's a good chance Valentine's just going to try to steer him out of bounds versus trying to hit him. But I'm looking at that play, and it's like, he's not. Why are my coverage guys underneath? And we're talking about Trayvon Diggs, and we're like, oh well, Diggs played 1 snap in the first half. That was it. What?
You told me Diggs would stay with that guy? Diggs would stay with the guy and probably pick that ball off, dude.
You're telling me that Diggs, I mean, I understand he just got to Green Bay, but you're telling me he can't figure out how to run a cover 3?
Come on, dude.
You're telling me he hasn't ran a cover 3? He's a veteran.
It's 4th down. You just got to knock the ball down. You don't even got to pick it. Just knock it down.
No, I mean, it's honestly, though, with Diggs, it's like you went into a game here where you run so much zone. Diggs has played a lot of zone in his life. Like, he can figure it out. He can figure out where to play in the spot.
Exactly.
So you're telling me he can't figure it out? That's what I'm saying with the personnel decisions. The personnel decisions just don't make sense. They just make absolutely no sense to me. And then it just,
Did you see the one where they were on defense? They had to call a timeout because they only had 10 players on defense. And then even on the final kick by the extra point kick by the Bears, they only had 10 people on the field. I'm telling you.
It's not saying that like the extra guy would have done anything.
No, but it's
being set up in the right spot.
Execution and just the fact that you're not doing your job. Like, as a coach and as assistant coaches, you need to be making sure you got the guys in the right place. And this is something that's been happening all year.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, having inexperienced coaches like that, like Rip Sachi has 30 years and he doesn't know what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
But you look at the defensive staff, you look at some of the other guys. I mean, you look at the offensive staff too. These guys are all guys that have been in-house people, right? They're all people like Sean Duggan. He came from BC. You look at Vrabel, you look at Steno, you look at Buckus, you look at Rafferty. All these guys are in-house people with less than 5 years experience. What are we doing?
100%.
What are we doing? Like, this is the reason why, like, if the Green Bay Packers want to go somewhere, they need to start investing in their coaching staff, and they need to start getting people that know what they're talking about and have some veteran experience. I'm not saying get a 30. Obviously, Rich Bisaccia is not the answer, but get guys that have been proven to know what they're doing. Like James Campy, I don't know why we let him go. He's in the house right now as a scout. I'd bring him down and say, hey, you coach our offensive line. And let's get it done. When he was there, our offensive line was one of the best offensive lines in the league consistently for decades.
It's definitely This is gonna be a long week, I would say. I don't know if it's gonna
been. These Bears fans are ridiculous.
When you guys hear us
Never
tomorrow,
right to be, but
yeah, no. When you guys hear us tomorrow, I don't know if like the Matt LaFleur, like I said, we're pre-recorded, so we don't know if Matt LaFleur got signed, if anything's happened there, if he got traded, anything like that. But
got traded. I kept seeing that too. Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if the Falcons offered me a first-round pick. I don't know. It's not crazy. It's not a crazy thought. It's not a crazy thought because then you could just say, "Hey, Jeff, before you leave for the Titans, we have a spot." But I don't know. You're at a point right now where I don't like you're talking
even
like
the defense, let's be real. Even the defense, I know they're gassed, but like you gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter, and you give up about 445 yards to this offense, and I'm like, again, like as if you're supposed to be such a vaulted defense and such an amazing defensive coach, why aren't you putting your guys in better positions to make plays? Because there were times where guys are running clear free and there was nobody. I mean, the in-breakers were killing us. I mean, you had running backs going out on the flat and they were killing us. I understand Edgerrin Cooper going down didn't help. But, dude, oh, my God, it was
a dump pass after dump pass after
That's
dump
all it
pass.
was.
And I don't know if we just forgot that Colson Loveland was the go-to guy there for the entire couple drives, but that's all they were looking for was Colson Loveland there, and it worked. It definitely worked. So we're going to continue this Packer Talk when we come back here from the break. We want to hear from you guys. 715-990-4914. That is 715-990-4914. We're going to hear what you guys' thoughts are on the Packers, the season, everything else. Matt LaFleur, we want to hear your thoughts. Definitely hit us up there. So when we come back, we're going to continue the Packer Talk. Talk about this Bears game, talk more Matt LaFleur, talk about everything in between. We'll be right back here on Wisconsin on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage, as we're coming back in here on this Wednesday. And hey, this next segment of the show here is brought to you by Casa M Spice. Are you craving bold gourmet flavor with those MSGs, fillers, or excess salt? Meet our friends down there at Casa M Spice Company, the award-winning spice blend born in Texas. This stuff is fantastic. I threw it on my chicken last night there, threw it on the Traeger. Was that fantastic? I threw some of that pecking order on there. The whole hog, I know whole hog doesn't sound like it'd go good on chicken. Oh, it does. It brings a different kind of hit to that. And then I threw some Texas Twister on there too, just to finish it off with it with the spice. Man, is this stuff fantastic. Give them a try. Casa M Spice. Check them out there at any Ace Hardware or check them out online. Casa M Spice. So Ummer is back here. We were discussing a lot of Matt LaFleur, the whole situation with him coming off this game as a whole from what we've seen here over the past how many years with Matt LaFleur. And I mean, it seems very stale now. It seems like we're just good enough making the playoffs, good enough making the playoffs, good enough making the playoffs. Well, at some point you got to get over that hump. At some point you have to make it, right? They went to the NFC Championship game with Rodgers with that team. Now there's always going to be that thing holding you up with giving Matt LaFleur credit for that because you're going to say, oh, well, Rodgers was there, right? He had Rodgers. He had this kind of team. Now you have your guy, right? Jordan Love, the guy that you drafted. That's your guy. That's your guy that you've built up. You have this really young roster that we hear about every year. It's the youngest roster. I'm going to be honest with you, Ummer, at this point, I think what they lack is a veteran guy. A guy, veteran guys. Guys that you can bring in, they don't have to be stars. I'm not asking for stars, right? But I'm asking for guys to come in there to kind of settle everything down. Guys who are just going to go out there and make plays for you, they're going to give that A+ effort that we talk about all the time. But they don't have to be bona fide stars. They just have to be leaders. And I think this team lacked leaders at times. Now, Josh Jacobs, he's a leader. I think he's a leader. I think Jordan Love hesitates to be a leader. I do. I think he's there. I think he can be a leader. But at times, I think he hesitates to be that guy. And I think he hesitates to command that leadership role. Rashawn Gary had the captain, but Gary, I don't know. He's a leader of men out there. Micah Parsons definitely going out did not help. I thought that he's definitely a leader and a lead by example kind of guy. But I don't know if Micah Parsons is a lead by example guy.
Right.
I need a guy out there who's going to settle the troops, right? Things are starting to go a little bit crazy on it, like in this Bears game, right? Things were starting to go sideways. You need a guy to step in and just settle it down. Just say, hey, we're good, right? We were talking about it with the Badgers. We're talking about it next there, but in that game against Michigan over the weekend, they had that upset win, and you had Nick Boyd. The Badgers went down 14 on the road against the number 2 team in the country, and you had Nick Boyd going to the huddle, and he's like, guys, we're good, settle down, we're good. That's what you need. But it was... I think, honestly, in that way, you had your team say, okay, we're good. We're fine. We just got to settle into this game. We'll be fine. That's where I'm looking for on this team. I I don't know. Am I crazy? I don't think I see that. I don't think I see those leaders on this team. And I don't know if that's going to be a veteran. I think it has to be a veteran presence that's going to demand that kind of respect back. But I think you're missing that guy, right? You had the Charles Woodsons of the world and guys like that back in the day. And you go through a laundry list of the guys that you qualify as leaders on the field. You need those guys. And I just feel like the Packers lack that at times. And I don't know if that's is the case of because they keep drafting and they keep letting some of these older guys go and they just keep getting younger and younger and younger and they're not getting any of that veteran presence in there, or if it's just the fact that they don't go out and look for it. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like they lack it. What do you think?
I think that we need to stop being the youngest team in the NFL. I think that that's a great thing. It's awesome. It's nice. But I don't think LaFleur is the kind of guy who I feel like he's been working with that, and we clearly see it's not really working. We need him to get some guys in there that can also bring the intensity within the locker room, right? Like we need leaders that are going to hold people accountable. Like Parsons said that. Parsons, hey, you scored 27 points. You should be able to win that game, and people need to be held accountable for those actions. Right. And the fact that wasn't the case. So I'm at a point now where, we're a draft and develop team. And I know we're going to be really scarce on money. So we're going to have to probably make some some hard decisions with some players. But at the end of the day, like we need more veteran presence. We need more guys that can command a room, that can take over. And actually, when you have these situations where you come into second half, you don't have that fear of the team coming back. You're going to, as Bullard said it, he goes, you're going to keep your neck on their foot and you're going to finish it off. Right. We need more people who can do that. And I think that because the fact that we don't have a first round pick this year, we're going to have to draft well, and we're going to have to bring in not cheap veteran presence, but veteran presence on both offense and defense, hoping that, because Tucker Kraft, Parsons, Wyatt, Jordan, Jacobs, I think all those guys have that leadership presence. Right. But again, like when you see someone push down your quarterback's head, when you see someone take a cheap shot at them, you see other players doing dirty things and there's no one really fighting for them, like the TJ Langs and the Josh Sims of the world. We needed something like that again.
Yeah. You need fire. You need that kind of juice in the huddle.
Because I'm sorry, like I'm okay with my team getting a 15-yard penalty if it's because they're defending one of their players.
Yeah.
Because right now there's no fight, there's no intensity. They keep saying the word soft. It's not that. It's like they're playing scared. Like, I saw when like LaFleur got pissed off at Igabare for getting on the field and caused them to have too many men on the field. And he's like, yelling and screaming at him for making a mistake. And that's another thing. Also, LaFleur is too tightly wound. Like Aaron Nagel was talking about that. He needs to get loose. Again, we just need to have, I think, just more voices that are been in these positions before come into the locker room and be able to help provide a culture that doesn't fear these situations but finds a ways to overcome them.
You need Matt LaFleur to get into guys' faces. When he watches Rashawn Gary jog on the field and then jog off the field, he needs to get on Rashawn Gary and say, hey, if I see you jogging again after a quarterback and not giving your all, I'm going to bench you. Like, that's it. I'm done. Like, be that guy. Be the coach of this team. All these players come out of it, and that's why I don't think Matt LaFleur is going to be fired. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I don't think he's going to be fired. He has to make major changes, and if he won't, then Goody and policy do. But Matt LaFleur, I don't feel he's going to be fired because you look at all these players, and they all love him.
Yeah.
But the problem with being a player's coach is sometimes they don't respect the player's coach.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the problem. And you have the love of the locker room. I like that. But you also need to have the tough love, right? Dan Campbell, and as much as sometimes we don't like Dan Campbell gives tough love. Like you could ask any of his guys. They love him. They love Dan Campbell. But they also play really hard. Every single down, all those guys. Now, sometimes maybe it's a dirty play here or there. Like, I'm not going to, condone everything that some of those guys in the Lions do. We're not going to start naming names, but we don't need to get into the Lions. Right. But when I watch that team, there's always a fire. There's always a drive. There's always Jared Goff trying to take the extra, or Gibbs trying to do the extra, or Aiden Hutchinson or Brian Branch, whatever it is. Those guys are always giving it all. And when I watch this team, I see guys dogging it. If guys dogged it in front of a Mike Tomlin or one of those guys, Mike Tomlin would be up in him. He was up in him in the game against the Texans. He was right up in his offensive line's face. He was right up in their faces. I mean, that's the kind of fire.
That's what we need LaFleur to do, the offensive line on that second half.
You need to walk in, like, maybe you're not the biggest guy in the world, Matt LaFleur. Like, maybe you're not the biggest guy, but you need to act like you're the biggest guy.
Prime examples in his second press conference, right after the reviewing the tape, that was the first time he's ever called out a part of his team. He goes, the offensive line just didn't block right. They didn't block well.
Yep.
And he was right. And I was surprised that he said that, but that's what I'm saying. If Jeff Hafley leaves, I want them to bring in Raheem Morris. I think Raheem Morris, he coached a Super Bowl defense when he was in the Rams, and he has been everywhere, and he has always had good defenses. And it's not just that, like, he provides an intensity with him too. And he has the hardware to back it up. Like, he has the hardware. He's a player. He's a former player. He's been a assistant, a Super Bowl champ. And again, like, he had that Atlanta defense humming at the end of that year, right? And I'm sorry, like, if we lose Hafley, there's a lot of guys. And also, him and Raheem go way back to him. And LaFleur go way back too, right? So I would think that'd be a great hire there. I'm with you, man. I just need to see, like, as much as Ben Johnson drove me crazy with what he said, again, if my coach was doing that, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah,
I'd
he fires you
respect
up.
that.
Like, he makes you want to run
it
through
gets
a
you
wall.
going.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets you going. Like, am I going to hate watch them this weekend? And I'm going to watch them, hope that the Rams put 70 points on them? I hope so. But at the end of the day, and, like, they kind of forget Sean McVay, Mike LaFleur, which is Matt LaFleur's brother, is the OC over there. Sean McVay is literally best friends with Matt. I don't think that they're going to take it too kindly for all the crap this guy's saying about their best friend. So hopefully they take it to him. And also Devontae Adams is there too, right?
It's at the end of the day getting the best out of your guys.
That's
and I
it.
feel like Ben Johnson gets the best out of his players. I don't know if Matt LaFleur is getting the best out of his guys, because we were just talking, we're talking a little bit about Jordan Love, right? We're talking about some of the hesitation and stuff like that. It just feels like he's not getting the best out of some of these players at times. And you can look across it. And, the one comment was Quay Walker coming out that game. And he's like, we've seen this for years now. This has been a constant theme of this team.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yes, Quay, but you were supposed to be a part of the change. You were a first-round draft pick. You were supposed to be the change, and you haven't been. And we're watching across the board at these draft picks, and a lot of them look good. Like Javian Bullard looks good. Right now, it's just a lot of talk from Javian Bullard. Like, I love his talk. Like,
he backs it up, though.
He backs it up. But, like, I need these guys. Now to go out there and perform. Quay Walker, you're talking now. I want to see you perform. Javian Bullard, he's been talking, but yes, he goes out there every single week and he performs. Now, it's all talk until it all works out. It's all talk until it works onto the field. Javian Bullard, it's a lot of talk, but it's a lot of action. Evan Williams, same difference. McKinney, same difference. I mean, the play that still drives me absolutely nuts. And I can't believe Keyshawn Nixon thought that he played a really good season this year.
That pissed me off.
But that play in the end zone, when I saw McKinney go out, he went all out trying to stop the running back from getting in. And then I saw Nixon make a business decision and jump out of the way.
He couldn't just try to punch at the ball?
Anything. I watched Nixon jump onto a pile when the play was done and get a 15-yard penalty.
And get a 15-yard penalty.
But you can't do that. You can't at least just try to trip him. Anything, do something. McKinney at least dove at the legs. McKinney versus Keyshawn Nixon. Nixon's a little bit bigger. McKinney, I mean, he's a good tackler, but Nixon, a little bit bigger. It seems like he's a harder hitter. Where was he on the goal line? Where was he when you needed him the most? Where was he with that, I got that tough attitude to me? Where was Keyshawn Nixon?
Yeah, where was the tough attitude right there?
That's my problem.
Way,
it's like these guys, it just doesn't seem like you get the best.
It's a Cam Newton Super Bowl thing all over again. I'm just like, really? That's something they don't talk all that talk, and then that's what you do, dog. Like, it just makes you look like why? It just makes you look fake as hell. Sorry, fake. It makes you look fake. I can't stand it. It's like I don't need the fake tough guy stuff. Rich Passage said, he has some mud on the back of his neck. That's great. I didn't see it there. Like, he over here doing dirty hits. He's over here doing all those other kind of things. But when it came down to it, like, what was that, dude? Like, you had a great opportunity to punch the ball out. Look what they did to Christian Watson when he was midair. They did everything to try to take him out. They didn't 100%. Waste nothing wasted. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need to completely revamp our whole side. Like, both our corners need to be gone. I keep Diggs. I see what he can do. But our investments in offense line, defense line, and cornerback. That's it. And then maybe linebacker, and that's it. I'm good.
100%. There's, like we said, there's we expect Matt LaFleur to come back. We expect them to work out some kind of contract, and he's going to be back. But if he's going to be back, he needs to make the tough changes. He needs to make changes not only in his coaching style, but also in his coaching staff. He needs to stop being buddy-buddy with guys, and he needs to be the head coach of this football team. So, Umar, I got to run here. Let the people know where to find you out there across social media.
Just come find me on Twitter at AMAR3455. I've been getting blown up by Bears fans. So if you guys want to come support me and help me fight these Bears fans and all their commentary, I'm all for it.
Make sure you guys check him out there. He's always covering the Packers. He's talking about Packers all the time. He's also getting after them Bears fans. I I never engage because I'm just not an engager unless if I see a video that absolutely like drives me nuts. And then I'm like, okay, I'll engage in that one. That's where I'm at on that. So when we come back from the break here, we're going to get to some better things. We're going to talk Badgers men's basketball when we come back here. 3 straight wins now. UCLA, Michigan, and Minnesota yesterday there. So we got to talk about it all. Christian's going to stop by. We're going to talk about that when we come back here from the break. Wisconsin Sports and the Go Trade. We'll be right back here. Time I shoot this show, my dogs are always with me. They're always here sitting at my feet. They just listen to me talk for 2 hours, and that's just how it goes. They've been there since I started a podcast, and now we're on the radio. They've been there through every single time, though, between commercial. They have to get up. They have to shake for 15 minutes. It's like, lay back down. Like, I can't have this jingling going on when I come back on. But either way, anyways, this is Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trade. I'm your host, Trade. We're coming back in here on this Wednesday. Christian stopping by. We're going to talk a little Badger hoops here, talk a little transfer portal, too, for Badger football. But before we get to that, I have to get to the sponsor of this next segment, a new sponsor to this next segment, and that is the State Farm agent, Jeff Holthaus. For home, farm, auto, renters, and life insurance, contact Jeff Holthaus in Neelsville, Toma, and now Marshfield, located in the former Kids Corner building at the 505 North Central Ave. That's the address there. Make sure you check him out. He does fantastic work. So check him out there. Jeff Holthaus there with State Farm. So Christian is here tonight. Christian, how we doing? I hopefully better than my ad read there. As first time I read it, I was all over the place trying to figure it out. But anyways, Christian, how are you doing on this Wednesday?
Good, man. The Badgers are back, right?
Oh man, they're giving us something to be excited about. And
exactly. We don't have to worry about the Packers. Like, we can just erase it from our memories. We got Wisconsin basketball to save us now, right?
We were talking about it. You and me, we were talking about it after the Badgers won. We're like, this is not good. But we can't have too many nice things in one day. We can't have too many.
Yeah, the Badgers won. We got a big time recruit from Wisconsin commit at the All-American Bowl. Like, things are going too well. Like, it's just not. It's a bad omen for the Packers.
It was setting up for a bad day. For a bad day. I mean, we went into that game, Christian. We were talking about it on Saturday, and we said, there's things they can do in this game. But we weren't very optimistic because we saw what we've seen so far this year, and we've seen what Michigan has been able to do. And we said, wow, this is a tough matchup. This is a really tough matchup for Wisconsin. Yeah. Matchup-wise, personnel-wise, everything in between. It just seemed like it was a really tough matchup. And this Badger team stepped up. And the crazy part is it was in Ann Arbor. And I said it, Christian. I said it going in. I said they have to survive the initial punch. Punch. And they did. They went down 14. And they went to that huddle. And I am starting to love Nick Boyd. I know I've yelled about him in the past for turnovers and getting crazy with the basketball sometimes. I am starting to love the leadership side of Nick Boyd. Because when you listen, I always look for, after big upsets, I always look on YouTube for the cinematic video to watch it because they always have Matt LePay with the video then in the background. Like, it just feels better watching. You get goosebumps listening to Matt LePay call a game, right? But listening to Nick Boyd when they went to the huddle, he's like, we're fine. And just listen, like that calm voice where he's getting into his guys, but he's also that calm leader in that huddle. Love that. And they showed it out on the court. He showed it out on the court. John Blackwell finally shows up. Braden Carrington.
He's back, man.
Played out of his mind. Braden Carrington, I'm telling you this right now, Christian. And we're going to talk about more in this game. I'm going to be honest with you at this point here. Braden Carrington could start. Like, in my mind, he could start. Over Andrew. I love Andrew Rohde, but I could start Braden Carrington in that spot. I love what he's been bringing off the bench, so I don't know if I want to completely get that out of the way.
That's the thing.
It's like that he's playing.
Dude, that's like Kamari McGee last year. You could have started him over Max Klesmet. It's like, why don't tinker too much, right? Like, that's my wife accuses me of I tinker too much with my fantasy football lineup before, and I always end up making the wrong decision. Don't tinker. Stick with what's working. I'm a tinker
guy, though.
Rohde is a starter. Like, he needs to be on the floor. Yes, his stats don't pop off the page, but like, we need guys. We need that third guy, fourth guy. Even if they're off the bench, that's awesome because with that second unit, we have that guy that we can rely on. If we have him out, like, think about that second group. You have, like, maybe Blackwell or Boyd. But then after that, you have, like, God forbid, you have Garlock in there. You have Janicki in there. And then all of a sudden you just have Andrew Rohde. So, like, literally the only guy who can score probably in that lineup is either Boyd or Blackwell. So I think if you can keep Carrington coming off the bench or whatever, I think that just gives you a second option scorer that can either like take some pressure off of Boyd or Blackwell, whoever's in, or or he's the guy. So I think I thought about that too tonight. Or I'm like, while they were playing the Gophers, when he was going off and hitting 3 after 3, I'm like, this dude could start right now. But I mean, why mess with a good thing? He's good coming off the bench.
Guy,
we need something off the bench.
You know that about me.
I know.
I love to mess with lineups. I mean, I loved what I've been saying.
Everything.
Oh, you got to. You have to sometimes. You have to think about what could we do to change this up, right? And I mean, Carrington's been getting a lot of minutes as of late too, and well deserved.
He has, yeah.
The effort that he
after
gave
he was like almost non-existent for like
I don't even know what that
games.
was, to be honest.
I know he was fighting like an injury, but also felt. I don't know. I saw it was Nick Osen or someone tweeted afterwards that something about like he kept going even after like he took he had a cut in his minutes, and then also had some subtle jabs from his head coach or something about his effort or defense. I don't know, something like that. I'm like, okay, so he's definitely in the doghouse,
right?
But I mean, he showed out against Minnesota too. Like, obviously he hit all those threes, but I think I watched like 2 different blocks he had where he's just been in there going and getting rebounds. Like, that's the kind of guy we need to have on this team.
Honestly, we've just talked ourselves into not starting him, but basically getting a majority of the minutes off the bench. Like that's kind of where we're.
Yeah, so like, who cares about starts, right?
Right. He's not starting, but he's going to be the 6th. He needs to be the 6th man, though. I don't know why. Janicki seems like he's the first guy off the bench and stuff. Braden Carrington needs to be your first guy off the bench for one of your guards, whoever you're going to bring out, whether it's Boyd, Rhodey, whoever. That's got to be your rotation piece first, because what he brings, like you said, not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end right now in this game against Michigan. You're talking 9 rebounds. He had 2 offensive rebounds. He had that big in transition. He had the big block in transition.
Yep.
He's all over the place right now, and he's hustle. He's hustling after. There was a ball that almost, I think it went out of bounds there. He hustled after it, jumped into the crowd, threw it back in. I think Michigan fans thought he went out of bounds. He didn't. Either way, there was a whole lot of mess in that game there from, listening to Michigan fans across social media. They're, up in arms. The goaltending call it was clearly still above the cylinder. So that's, I don't know how blatantly obvious the rules are, but that's what the rules state is if it's still above the cylinder, you can't just go up but either way, this was a great performance from the Wisconsin Badgers. This was a great performance all the way. This might be, and I saw a lot of people talking about that 10-minute stretch they had where they were just knocking down shot after shot after shot. And Michigan was coming back at them. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this game might have been one of the best college basketball games I've watched in a while. Just the back and forth play, the effort from both teams. Once Michigan, I thought right away Michigan was kind of thinking to themselves, oh, yeah, we're going to cruise. Like that right away. They're like, oh, yeah, we're cruising. They're smiling. They're all up into it. And then the Badgers made their push. And you saw the reaction from Michigan and Dusty May. And it was like, oh, boy, game on. Like, here we go. Like this, they're pushing us now. They're pushing us. And by that point, it was Bielowski, the bigs for Wisconsin. Bielowskis and Winter in this game. Bielowskis, this is the offensive performance that you wanted to see from that guy. I mean, honestly, like he was.
I think that's what you want. That's what you hoped Rapp would be.
Yes. What is going on with Austin Rapp? I thought he was going to play against the Gophers. Did he play at all against Minnesota?
No, he didn't play at all. But I know he had a sleeve on his his right knee when I looked he was running around the court chasing Blackwell after he made the 3. So I mean, I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
The side to side movement's still going to get him, not straight ahead.
That or I don't know, maybe kind of like Carrington, because he was hurt, quote unquote hurt, for a game or 2, maybe that's his hurt, but he's just in guard's doghouse right now. His defense is just atrocious, and he's not doing enough offensively to keep him in the game or worthwhile, right?
That's definitely understandable. I could definitely get behind that because I've compared him to Connor Essegian on the defensive end there. I really like. He's just
that's the reason. Yeah, I mean, I know we like to generalize and poke fun at the Wisconsin offense. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, we're all about scoring points now. We don't care about defense. But like, you'll never get that out of guard. He has too much Bo Ryan, principles in him. Still, defense still matters. You cannot turn the ball over. You turn the ball over once. You get a glare, you turn it over again, you're coming out of the game, right? So I don't know how many times I saw Will Garlock go into a game and he was out 30 seconds later because he turned the ball over immediately.
You like that. I mean, you like that.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to develop. It's just they're kind of throwing him into a role.
You can just tell he's in there too early. Like, but it's he has to be. But you can tell he's in there and he's just not comfortable. And he, like, even when he dribbled, it's like me. When I finally got varsity minutes senior year, all of a sudden I start dribbling and I start panicking a little bit because I'm like, holy crap, I'm finally in the game. And then all of a sudden you dribbled off your foot, or someone you're not crisp, you're not confident. Someone takes it away from you, right?
Yeah, no, you know what, a guy I thought had a lot of confidence in this game? I thought Kingser, I know he only played 2 minutes, but some of the pressure that they put on him, I thought he handled it really well in this game. So I really liked what I saw to Kingser. It was really a short little amount of time that he was in.
Did he even get in against Minnesota?
I don't recall against Minnesota.
I'm thinking, and I'm like, I don't even remember seeing him.
But Hayden Jones didn't play against
absolutely
Michigan
agree with you. True. But I agree with you. Like, I absolutely like what I saw to Kinzinger against Michigan, too. It's like you're playing the number 2 team on the road, and he's not having any, like, confidence. He's open, he shoots. That's his job. That's what he's brought here to do, right? Yeah, he didn't even play tonight. Garlock, Janicki, and Carrington were the only ones that came off the bench against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
It still says we're recording. I don't know what's going on.
Still recording. Let's keep
it's still recording. We had some technical difficulties, but it's still recording there. So anyways, we're talking about, we've gotten into it all here. We talked about the Michigan game there, and Kingser thought he played some good, valuable minutes there. It was a short little stretch of time, and we're talking about him like he played 15 minutes. But I thought in those 2 minutes he showed poise. He showed like he's still developing, as we know. But I thought he didn't shy away from the pressure. He didn't shy away from a big game. So that's something that you love to see. I thought they did a really good job on Amara in this game. Mara only with 9 points in this ball game there. They did a really good job on the drivers in this game, shutting down the lane. Badgers did it. I thought defensively, like you were talking earlier, I thought they did a good job. I know you look 88 points, you're like, wow, that's not really that good. Honestly, end of the day against a Michigan team that's putting up 100 on everybody, like 88's not a bad day at the office. Points in the paint. I think Michigan went in the game. If I saw the stat right, they had like 20 plus points in the game, in the paint in every game this season so far. And the Badgers only 12. I mean, yes, it seems like it's still a bigger number, but definitely an improvement from what other defenses have done against this team here. So definitely something to look at there. And then fast break points. Michigan only had 7 fast break points in this game. This is a team in Michigan that loves to run. So 7 fast break points compared to the Badgers 4 in this game. Huge stat line.
You could tell, though, like, they made a concerted effort to get back on defense. Like, a shot went up. They really weren't crashing the offensive boards all that hard. They were getting back because, like you said, Michigan thrives on that. That's like a huge part of their game is just getting easy points in transition. So I think that was obviously a big reason why they were able to hang with them or like limit some damage when they were down big,
100% agree with you there. I mean, this was a game where it was a game of runs. It was a game of, can you take punches and battle back? And I think it showed a lot of resiliency and a lot of toughness that we've been looking for. Now, there still is a mental focus portion that I'm still kind of concerned about with this team, and it goes with free throws. We saw it in this game late. Some misses there at the free throw lines, ability to kind of distance themselves, put this game away. And they just weren't able to hit the front end of some of those 1-and-1s. And then they're, just a couple misses here and there. And that left the door open. And against good teams like Michigan, I know you ended up winning, so I don't want to like completely say, wow, like that was, but against good teams like Michigan or even a team like Michigan State or Purdue, if you got to face Purdue again, those kind of, I think they play Purdue to end the year. When you face teams like that, you have to find ways to put them away. And at the free throw line is definitely where you have to do it. So when we come back from the break, we're going to hit hour number 2. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about that Minnesota game. And then we also want to hit the transfer portal a little bit. We're just going to dive into that, talk about the newcomers there for Wisconsin football. So we'll be right back here on Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage.